What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Blake. Welcome back to another video. And as you can tell by the title of this video, is called Don't Be a People Pleaser. The reason you should not be a people pleaser is because the more people you try to please, the less you please yourself. The less you are satisfied with yourself, right? Because you always are trying to make sure someone else feels good about themselves, right? Or you know, because you don't want to say no, right? You don't want to say no because you think it's maybe disrespectful, or you want to be a good person, and I can respect that. But you also need to be careful, right? Your safest bet, right, is to say yes and no at the same time, right? Sometimes you say yes, sometimes you say no. Because if you strictly say no, people aren't even gonna ask for you. They're just gonna think you're mean, right? I mean, sometimes that's okay, right? You know, because you don't have to. You don't have to do any favors for them, right? If you say yes all the time, you're a people pleaser, you're a yes man or yes woman, and most of the time people are going to see that and they're going to capitalize on it and think, all right, I'm just going to be able to just dump any and everything I want to you. Boom. If I don't feel like doing it, I'm just give it to you. You're going to do it, right? They have this assumption. That's how some people are for some odd reason, right? But if you're in the middle and you say sometimes yes, sometimes no, it's 50-50 shot if they really still want to ask you, right? So you kind of leave them guessing, like, what will he or she say? They might say yes, they might say no. So they're going to be indecisive, and when they're indecisive, they'll either ask you and you give them a 50-50 shot, or they won't ask you at all because they don't want to take that risk, right? You know, or they'll simply just try to ask someone else who they believe will just instantly say yes. If you're a 50-50 person, you say yes and no, or just strictly no, most of the time they're gonna try and find someone else because it's just easier to just find someone who's just gonna 1000% say yes, no questions asked, right? And that's the problem. You know, I'm not saying you have to say no all the time, but you shouldn't just say yes to everything for every single person, right? Being a people pleaser, that limits yourself, right? Because then you have all other things you have to worry about for yourself. And then you already promised, you made an indirect promise that, hey, I'll do this for you. And then what are you getting in return, right? Sometimes you don't even get a thank you, sometimes, right? Or even if you do, I guess the little thank you could feel good in the moment, but over a certain period of time, you're gonna get tired of this. Like, bro, this is too much, right? Most people are going to abuse that power, whether they realize it or not. Most of the time, they're going to realize it and they're going to try and capitalize on it. But in other instances, let's say the rare instance, they don't realize it, right? Now they're just like, I didn't know, I feel like if it gets too bad, then you just tell them no. You got to get comfortable saying no sometimes, right? You have to know when it's a good idea to do it, if you actually have the time or can make the time for it, because you always want to be a man of your word, right? Man or woman of your word, but do not always tell people, yeah, I'll do it, just simply because over time, whether they realize it or not, they're definitely gonna go to you more. You're supposed to be their savior. You're supposed to save the day. When something gets hard or something inconvenient happens, hey, I could just go to this person and they'll just say yes. You don't want to be that. You really don't. Because then they feel they can get over on you, right? And sometimes they're not even appreciative of it. They use it against you, and in the long term, that's going to hold you back, right? Or even for your goals, right? Even for your goals, right? Everyone telling you, oh yeah, you shouldn't do that because that's too risky. Life is risky. Risk is what it takes to reach your goals. Some people who say don't do it because it's too risky, they say that because they can't see themselves doing it, so they don't think you should do it, right? Or let's say someone did do it, right? And they did succeed, but they failed a few times. They're successful because they kept going even through the failure, right? You fail before you succeed, right? Or even if you start to see some success, you're gonna hit a blockage, you're gonna hit an obstacle, you're gonna hit some sort of setback or failure. And you have to push through it. You have to actually go through it and keep going like nothing happened, right? You might have to take a step back. You might have to analyze it, right? Plan it out. analyze it, and then retry, right? It shouldn't even be a moment where you should think, oh yeah, I'm gonna give up. No, that's not what you should do. That is a terrible idea. And if anyone tells you that you shouldn't do something because it's too risky, you literally just cut them off, okay? You cut them off, or you distance yourself from them, because those are the people that will hold you back because you think that their opinion matters, all right? Some people's opinion matters, but the only opinion that matters is if it's going to better yourself, or if someone is already in the situation or accomplished what you want to accomplish. That's the only person's opinion or advice you should take. Like, everything in life is risky, right? Everything, all right? You know, so if someone's telling you not to do something because it's too risky, and you actually go through with it, what does that show? You're a people pleaser, right? You need to have a strong mindset, right? No, it doesn't matter if it's family, doesn't matter if it's friends, doesn't matter if it's acquaintance. If it's acquaintances or associates, you definitely shouldn't take nothing from them. All right, but if it's close peers, family, friends, yes, you love them, yes, you're cool with them, but not all of them can understand your path and your journey to what you want to do. And sometimes you can't tell them. You just can't. Because either you know how they're going to react, or you have a belief of how they're going to react. Or it may catch you by surprise how they react, right? At the end of the day, whether you tell them or not, no matter what they say, whether they support you, hey, if they support you, that's great, even better, right? If they don't, that's when y'all want to start people pleasing. No. You should use that as a way of, okay, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to prove a point. Because obviously, what you're doing hasn't worked. Obviously, you know, I have to do something different to get to see better results, right? So, you just need to be aware of who you surround yourself with and who you take advice from. That is what you need to be aware of. You know, because that is how you develop the mindset. That is how you have the, you know, effort to go all out no matter what. You want to go all out no matter what. No matter how much support or no support you have, you need to go out there as if you have no choice. All right? That is literally, that's how you win in life. That's how you become abundant, with your mindset. It's okay to hear from other people. It's okay to take advice. It's okay to hear other people out. But sometimes if that advice or you know, thing that they say doesn't align with your goals, you might have to just brush it off and be like, nah, that ain't gonna work for me. I'm gonna do my own thing. And that's what it takes to get to the next level. But really, that's all for this video. Comment, like, subscribe. I hope y'all thoroughly enjoyed it. If this resonated with you, watch it again if you need to. Save it and share this with someone who you know needs to see this video, who's always a people pleaser, who will literally do anything and everything they can in order to just satisfy people, which makes literally no sense. All right, but like I said, y'all know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, that way you know every time I drop a video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.